We have here a battery-operated sound card with capabilities of an audio interface, a mixer, and an all-around streaming audio companion. This is the Takstar MX3, one of the most highly versatile sound cards I've had the chance to review on this channel. This has a denoise function, Autotune, Reverb, built-in sound effects, and lots of LEDs. This has way more features that we're gonna be going over in this review. Hi, this is Daniel with the Biboyharanero team. I've been mixing and experimenting on audio gear for nearly a decade now, and in the years as a voiceover artist and vocalist, I have never encountered a sound card this feature-packed. Our tests will involve the Takstar TA68 dynamic microphone, which we also reviewed on this channel. I used this exact microphone along with the MX3 sound card for my voiceover on my recent videos, which are the Apple Maker keyboard reviews. Let's go over its connectivities. In front of the sound card, you get a 6.5mm headphone output port along with the 3.5mm headphone output. Each have different volume controls for independent loudness levels. Now onto the back of the mixer, you have a USB-C input for charging the battery, another USB-C input for connecting to your PC, which can input audio and output audio of your PC. You have a 3.5mm output port to connect the speakers and a 3.5mm input to connect another audio device to the sound card. Then you have two XLR inputs that also act as combo inputs for 6.5mm connectors, a 6.5mm instrument input, and another microphone input for a total of 3 mic inputs. This sound card can output audio via a 3.5mm output port, and below that are 2 USB-C inputs to connect to 2 other recording devices compatible with Androids and iOS. Like I said, this is a very versatile sound card. You could even connect an actual headset to the sound card if that is something you prefer versus XLR microphones. Later, that is what we're gonna be doing. So there are lots of knobs on this sound card, and I'm going to split them in 2 groups with input and output. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. These 2 huge knobs are controls for microphone input 1 and microphone input 2. The right knob controls both microphone input 2 and microphone input 3, which is the 3.5mm mic input at the top side. Each channel has independent toggleable 48V phantom power and independent 3-band EQ settings. You have 2 faders on the sound card, which include a fader for the auxiliary input and another fader for audio received via Bluetooth. You have a volume control knob for the instrument input, and that's pretty much it for all input device controls. On to output controls, you have a knob for speakers out and 2 more volume knobs for headphone out 1 and headphone out 2. Lastly, you can adjust the overall digital output volume of the sound card through its recording volume knob. This should allow you to further boost the output of your sound card or decrease it if need be. The sound card is also riddled with buttons if that's not already evident. One of the buttons here is for the denoise effect, which we will go over in the latter segments. You have a button for auto-tune and up and down buttons for changing keys, along with a knob to further customize your auto-tune settings. You can activate ducking by pressing this small white button beside the duck threshold knob. Moving on, if your microphone is difficult to drive, you have here a button to add 10 decibels to your mic's amplification. Now I find this really useful, especially for power-hungry microphones. By the left corner of the sound card, you have a button for dry mic pickup and chat, both of which we will explore again in the latter segments. In the lower right corner of the sound card, you have a button for Bluetooth connectivity and mute. You have a button right here to control RGB modes on the sound card. And lastly, just for an extra, you have a knob for audio output panning either to the left or to the right. Now, I did mention that this has a button for dry mic pickup. And what that does is it mutes all sound effects when toggled on. This is useful for when you have auto-tune, reverb, or maybe even pitch already set up, and you just want to be able to talk with clean mic pickup without any of these effects. Just press the dry button to mute all these real-time sound effects. Then you have the chat button. When you have the mixer connected to your PC, the playback audio of your PC is also recorded by the sound card, which is something you may not want. When you toggle the chat button on and you record on your PC, the audio that's outputted by your PC will not be picked up by your recording software. This is especially useful for when you need to chat with friends online and you don't want them hearing themselves through your microphone or through your sound card. Again, a very smart addition by Takstar, which shows just how much experience they have with designing and implementing options and customizations onto a full-scale, feature-packed audio interface. Now, let's go over some of these sound effects. So what I just did there is just I showed you that what we're using right now is a headset that I have connected onto the MX3. Anyways, let me first show you some of the effects that we have here. Firstly, we have the denoise function right there. And I'm not sure if you can hear it, but I can hear it in my monitors, but the hissing from my background is removed. I have that all the way down right here. You could increase the aggressiveness of the denoise function, but I think this one just does the job. Definitely, if you're in a street, or you're in a very busy place, like in a cafe, yep, you have the option to turn that up. Next, we have the Autotune. So let's turn it on right here. There you go. You have major and minor. Autotune, yeah. Cool, right? Anyways, pitch shift down. Like this. Pitch shift up.
Pitch shift. I mean, not pitch shit.
We have here the duck. The duck is used mainly when you have music in the background. You turn duck on, and every time you speak through your microphone, it will automatically bring down the volume of the music. Testing microphone, testing microphone. Did you see that? Testing microphone, testing microphone. Did you see that? So it automatically brings down the volume of our background music. We have here the exciter for high and low. Basically what this does is it adds more crispiness to your voice, and also it adds punch. If you adjust the low, testing microphone, it's gonna add a lot more body to your voice. And then if we increase the high right here, it's going to add again some level of crisp. The exciter basically amplifies the highs in a human voice and also amplifies the lows in a human voice versus just the general frequency range of highs, mids, and lows. Alright, I'm gonna keep the music on and I'm just gonna be speaking into the microphone anyways here. So we have the duck turned on, so you're still gonna hear me pretty well even with the background music. Hmm? That's good. Slap. And we have crow. Alright, there you go. For all these sound pads, you can add in custom sound pads with the A, B, C, and D. You can record them onto its software. So yep, this has a software with it, but basically what you could do with the software is just tweak these sound pads right there. Hi guys, I'm already editing the video and I forgot to go over the mic reverb. You have here the amount of reverb, testing microphone. And you can also adjust the timing of the reverb. If you want it gone real quick, turn it all the way down. If you want it to stick for quite some time, max it out. Pretty basic. I wouldn't use this. I would only use this for karaoke. So before I forget, let's go over the box contents. We have a 3.5mm audio cable, a 3.5 to 6.35mm adapter, OTG data combo cable with separate wiring for data and power with an integrated lightning adapter. You get 2 Type-C data cables, and a user manual. Overall, the MX3 is a complete package. It has all I will need for voiceover work, mic reviews, and even for my karaoke sessions. However, there are a few quirks and rooms for improvement. Firstly, when cranking up the gain on the XLR mic at around 80%, hissing can be heard in the background, which is a normal thing. So I suggest using a mic activator and turning on 48 volts to add more clean gain. Then I also noticed that the battery drains quicker than 4 hours with 48 volts on it, which is what's advertised. This may be due to the effects I had turned on, or I think the RGB eats up a little too much power. Just keep a handy power bank nearby and you should be fine. Lastly, this records at 48K 16-bit. I wish it recorded at 24-bit, but I don't think that's a necessity, as your live stream viewers are most likely listening to a 16-bit sound card anyways, and the difference between 16-bit and 24-bit recordings are near unnoticeable. Moreover, I have been recording at 16-bit for years now, and I hope my clients don't watch this video. Anyways, I enjoyed using the MX3 to record my voiceovers. It's pretty easy to navigate through for advanced users, and for beginners, they may be a bit of fiddling with the device before you get fully accustomed to its control panel. Anyhow, this is really easy to recommend for those looking to make quick, on-the-go live streams or recordings. With its portability, again, very easy to recommend. Links will be in the description down below. Access those from where to get your Takstar MX3. This is Daniel with the Biboyharanero team. I'll see you again next time. Don't forget to not subscribe.